will calm collected. I'm unapologetic. I could never give a fuck even if God said it.
Alrighty.
We rolling?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Episode 17. We're here. Yep, episode 17.
17 now.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
It's this is our first blue check guest. Verified.
Yes, sir. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
My name is Lane Allen. I was born Tucker Lewis, but I changed the name when I was like 17 or maybe even 16.
Oh, like you changed your legal name?
Nah, not legally.
Oh, you
but-
just mean you came out with your... Okay.
Yeah.
What everybody knows you as.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are very few people that still call me Tucker, but you know, there's a couple people out there.
The close homies.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I'm 22. I went to Lafayette in Lexington.
Yes, sir.
Right over by Lane Allen. I moved out of my parents' house when I was 15 years old. You know, I've been in these streets for a while now.
Doing your own thing for a
doing
while.
my own thing, yeah.
So, after high school, or when did you start rapping? What age?
I used to make raps when I was like 14, just like as a joke, and I would never like actually put them on a beat.
Right.
But when I was like 15 and 16, I started living at this place on University Avenue, and my friend Caleb was like trying to learn how to be an engineer.
Yeah.
And so like I would like practice rapping and stuff at our house, and but it was all
over his
jokes,
stuff?
right? But it was all jokes, and then until Caleb had passed away in 2016, and then it kind of like became more serious.
Right,
Oh,
like
damn.
that gave you a push to
Right.
create something after
Right.
him. Yeah.
Exactly. And I started making a few songs like in you know, in remembrance of him.
Right.
For because we did like events to raise money for the funeral.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And then when I was like 2017 probably,
Mhm.
I was 17. I started making this festival called Freedom Fest, and I dropped 4 EPs in 4 months.
Oh, damn.
And I performed once a month at Freedom Fest, and
And this is when you're 17.
yeah.
Damn.
Mhm.
Okay.
And like 100 people, 150 people would come every time. And the last one that we did, I actually donated all the money to a kid that needed a heart transplant.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really cool.
Mhm. His
So
name
how
is
did
Devin?
how'd you get into that? Like, what gave you the idea to do that? Specifically him?
No, really, I just needed a venue to perform at first. And the girl that I was dating at the time, her parents had a farm.
Okay.
So I built the stage out of scratch and rented equipment and booked artists. And
Oh, so you did everything yourself.
Mhm, everything
That's dope.
myself, and I built it all like I built the stage beforehand, and then me and him literally built everything the same day before the show.
Really?
And I performed so tired, but it was so fun still.
Oh, I'm sure you were going crazy.
Right.
17 years old performing, and you built all of this yourself. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Mhm.
actually really cool.
Yep. And the reason why I ended up donating the last one's proceeds was because the people who let me do the show at their farms,
Yeah.
son, it was his best friend.
Oh, that's
Right.
cool. So you had some type of connection with him. That's really cool.
exactly. So once I heard that he had to have a heart transplant and his parents,
You wanted to
were-
help.
Exactly.
No, that's really
I
cool.
wanted to help as much as I could.
Right.
But even though Freedom Fest, it costed at least like $1,000 every time alone.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
put on.
wow.
Just equipment.
Oh yeah. And
Everything
like,
that you had to rent. And then-
Exactly.
So how were you promoting it at the time? You were 17.
I just
I'm sure,
posted it.
I'm sure your socials, were they still doing pretty good when you were 17 or like?
Yeah.
So you got all the people there, just everybody by
Right.
yourself.
Off the muscle, yeah.
That's hard.
And the people that I booked would also have people come.
Right.
Mhm.
So how many people did you have performing then?
Probably like 7 before me.
Oh, that's really cool. So you had a whole event.
Right.
That's really cool.
Right.
How long were these shows?
Each performance was like 15 to 20 minutes, so it went on from like probably like I think 10 p.m. to midnight.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. And then what was after that? So you started doing these little events, and then where did you go from there? Or not little events, but for a 17-year-old,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? That's
No,
really
yeah.
good, but
After that, I dropped the song "Okay" with Stephen Cannon, and that one started blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that made people like kind of like pay attention more.
Right.
And I started getting booked for some actual shows.
Is that like
especially-
the point in your career where you finally like you felt like everybody looked at you seriously?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because like all the shows that I did, like people looked at me, you know, seriously from that. Like they knew I was like willing to put the work in.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
You
they
were
didn't-
starting to establish yourself.
Exactly. They didn't think, or like I don't think they had the belief in myself that I did, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying, until that started popping off.
Yeah.
And you know, after that, I just dropped a series of songs as much as I could, with you know various featuring artists,
Mhm.
and they started doing well. So I've just been going up ever since.
So, sorry. So now, how long have you been rapping total? You've been rapping for
At least 7 years.
7 years.
Mhm.
So, at what point? I know you said you were 17, I believe, when Steve Cannon dropped, right? Or
Yeah.
were you 18 at that point?
I think I was 17.
Okay.
Maybe
So,
even 16 still. I can't remember.
other than that, what was the transition from you being like, okay, I sort of do this? Even like, you know, even when you start doing something, you can't sit there and say that you do it yet. You know what I'm saying? You really have to establish yourself. So what from there happened after that? Like, that was like, okay, I'm really going to take this serious and take the next step.
There was this guy named Sosa who was an engineer at this studio called QOQ
Mhm.
in Louisville. And after I had dropped a few songs with this guy named Wavy the King,
Yeah.
he hit me up and was like, yo, like, come to my studio. I'll record you for free. Like, you got the sauce. Like, I think you're going to be the
Oh,
next
that's-
big thing.
And he came to you.
And well, yeah, he messaged me.
Yeah.
And was like, come to the studio in Louisville and you can record here like as much as you want for free.
Yeah.
And so I started going there all the time, and then that's where I met ESTG.
Mhm.
And like they were like tied in, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They were doing big shit.
Yeah.
Like they weren't as like when I met G, I don't think he had as many monthly listeners as I did.
Yeah.
But he was doing
That's crazy.
He was
That's
doing
crazy.
big money moves still.
That's
though.
nuts. Yeah.
Right.
His growth was quick, and when it happens like that, bro, even for somebody like you, bro, it literally could be a
It-
2-night thing.
No,
I mean,
it takes one song.
Yeah,
It really
bro.
does.
One song. Like it's crazy to think about it that
you
way.
just have to have that like that background that after that one song they can go and look at your other stuff and be like, okay, he's actually, you know what I'm saying? That I think
Exactly.
that's important. You can't just have one and then have nothing else. You have to have one and then have shit behind it that also establishes yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And after I met ESTG, I was just tied in with that group
Right.
pretty tight. And then some stuff popped off where, you know, there was some shooting and
Oh,
some
yeah.
killing and stuff
At the
studio.
Oh damn.
And I started going my own direction a little bit more after that.
Right.
Because I didn't
I'm sure you learned a lot in that time though.
Right.
How
Right.
long were you like how long was the period that you were
Probably
chilling there?
3 months or like 2 months.
Mhm.
I was going like every week, like 3 times a week.
Oh yeah, bro. I'd take advantage of that shit. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Those opportunities that I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you learned a lot from just that short
Being
2
around
months.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after the all that violent shit happened, G had gotten shot
Oh, he got shot.
in response.
Damn.
And after he got shot, he started blowing up.
Yeah.
And I hit him up and I was like, bro, like let me cop that beat you was talking
Like,
about. for a
you
while
foresaw
ago.
his success coming. So you're
Yeah.
like, let me get that.
After he got shot, I immediately hit him up and I was like, bro, like I'm glad you're good, but like let's get a song, bro.
Right,
would you say y'all are not, obviously not now because he's so famous, but like back at that time, would y'all say y'all were on talking terms?
Oh yeah, like I mean, I was more close with his boy, fucking I can't remember his name off the top of my head because they all start with EST, but his manager, he was definitely had some like belief in me, so
That's
like
dope.
me and
He
him
saw
were
the
talking
vision
all
as
the
well.
time, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name though, but because G was so busy after he
Yeah.
got shot, he was like blowing up immediately. So like I would talk to his manager, but not G as much.
Right.
But
I mean,
and then
bro, we've talked about this before. When you start moving, like, doing like lots of different things like that, it's really just hard. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Hard to
It
stay in
is.
contact with different people.
It is. And like, I mean, I'm on a small scale of it, and I still feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it is
Yeah.
hard to answer the phone sometimes. you know what
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You just got a lot going on.
Right. But after he got shot, I got the feature with him and posted a picture with him on Instagram.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and people were hitting me up and like, you know, saying all this shit. But G wasn't that big at the time,
Right.
so it wasn't like too much stuff. But like, the people who had invited me to the studio beforehand
Yeah.
started hitting me up and shit. Were like, seeming like they were trying to set me up and shit. So,
Really?
Yeah. Then I really just kind of was like, all right, well,
I'm gonna take a step back.
yeah, not
Yeah.
even step back, but just like I need to be careful. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
And But that just kind of made me realize how if I take it seriously, I'll blow up too.
Right,
It was like
exactly.
seeing G do it. I was like, I knew him before he was,
right, exactly.
right.
I mean, just seeing somebody do it can give you that motivation
Exactly.
to actually take the next step, bro.
Right.
Yeah, you can take two things from me. Like, you can sit back and like hate on and be like, "Fuck, should have been me."
Right.
Right,
Or
exactly.
you can take inspiration from it.
Right.
So
And then after that, I dropped this album called One Way,
Mhm.
and it had G on it, it had Kasky on it, it had Joey Fats, it had Danny Towers, and it had 24 Hours.
So this was your first project though that
Mhm.
was like
yeah, that was
okay.
the first piece of music I ever heard from you. Was
Right.
that album?
Right.
Yeah.
And I had like, as wide a variety as I could on it,
Right.
hit as many bases as I could. And even had like a full instrumental outro that was played in studio with
Yeah, that's
real
cool.
instruments. So like, I've been trying to, at that point, the biggest thing to me was just making great music.
Right.
And I figured the rest would follow. And
So-
it has.
What at what point in what you've been doing did you learn that you had to actually take like social media sort of serious too? Because some people like there's two ways to go about it. Sometimes people will just try to be creators, but they don't know how to use social media, or they know how to use social media but can't create. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to actually find that that balance between the two, where you're a creator and you're like trying to grow on social media and trying to push yourself at the same time. So when did you like sort of start to learn that you had to do that?
Really, I kind of realized it like 2 years ago. I used to post like 3 or 4 times a day,
Mhm.
and I realized that my views had gradually gone down throughout the day. And it just kind of made me realize that if you're going to be an independent local artist on the rise, then you need to make yourself as inaccessible as possible,
Right.
and make yourself seem like you're, special.
Right. Like
And-
give them something to be like, oh shit.
Right.
No, of course.
So like you can't
That
post
wow
that
factor.
often.
Quality
Right.
over quantity for
Exactly.
that one. Yeah.
So the less you post, and as long as it's engaging posts,
Right.
that are attention grabbing,
Right.
then that's the best way to do it. Is to just make sure that you're not oversaturating your
No,
listeners.
exactly. See, it's always, I feel like that's always a hard topic though, in different types of content though, because somebody like Gary Vee, I'm sure you know who that is.
Mhm.
Somebody like him says you need to just be pushing content out every day.
Right.
But then some people will say that you have to, take that step back and then just post better quality.
Right.
But like I said, sometimes you just have to find a balance between what's right for your
Right.
type of content.
Right. And I know content creators that post fucking 20, 30 times a day, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
must do well because they still do it every day.
Right, exactly. They stayed consistent.
Right. But for me, I feel like as a growing artist that is already, I wouldn't say like I'm trying as hard as I can to keep people listening,
Right.
because like I feel like I don't try that hard really.
Yeah.
I don't do any like promo other than like posting my songs like once or twice.
Right.
But I feel like if I overpost, then people aren't going to think that it's anything cool. You know
Right,
what I'm
it's-
saying?
it's-
they're
you're
going to
just-
see it too often and then they get sick of it.
Do you
I see that.
are you so what's next, like for your next project? Are you going to take a different promoting route, like since you're getting bigger and stuff like that, you definitely have to start pushing it to more people?
It just depends really, because I'm at the point right now where I probably won't drop another project until I have another song go viral.
Okay.
Or at least not viral, but like I have another song pop off. Because I have so many songs right now that if I were to just drop the album,
Right.
that it would probably it would just get overlooked.
Right. So you're trying to just stay on the low until one pops and then
Right.
flood it.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And I think my next album's gonna be called Walking Red Flag.
Walking red flag?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
And basically just making fun of myself, you know what I'm saying? Because
I like that.
I be having hella relationship issues, like especially more lately than ever.
That's-
But
and that's hard too. I mean, I'm sure, like we were talking about earlier, with you being busy, I'm sure,
Mhm.
bro, it's so much harder to have those type of relationships and that like hindrance in your time, because
Yeah.
you've got a lot on your plate with like what you're doing, and then you're opening a business as well,
Yeah.
and then stuff like that. I'm sure it's just like fuck.
Yeah,
bro,
exactly.
yeah.
Yep. But so like I've got like a bunch of songs that I've been working on like post breakup and like pre breakup that were just like are surrounding, things that, I felt during that time.
During a relationship, yeah.
Exactly. Like my next song comes out on like June 8th. It's called
Mhm.
The Highest. And I definitely touch on like the pre breakup
Right.
feeling. But there's a bunch of songs that I've recorded since then that are, touching on the post breakup feeling.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can just hear the progression in every song.
So when so how many actual projects do you have out right now? Like if somebody was to go on your Apple Music.
I have one actual album, and then I have an EP out I have 2 EPs out. One is with Danny Towers, that's 6 songs, and then I have an EP that I dropped in 2017, that's 4 songs.
Okay. Are you trying to, so once you do start, like once you have that next song that pops, so are you going to try to take a route where you're going to do a lot of projects or like a bunch of singles? Like what do you want to do specifically with how your music's going to be released?
Right now it's going to be every 6 to 8 weeks I'm going to drop a single, and if none of them pop off, then I'm just going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And then put them all together when I have 9 songs out and call it, the album.
Right.
And then just like promote it with one new song, and then be like, oh, everybody check out my album. And
Yeah.
hopefully it makes people go back and look at the songs that I had been dropping.
Yeah.
Because like the last time I dropped an album, I had label offers the same day.
Okay.
So like, dropping an album is definitely good for the view.
Right.
But in terms of longevity, in terms of like keeping fans
Interested, yeah.
exactly, then you gotta do 6 to 8 weeks and
Separate them a little bit.
right,
Keep everybody in the flow.
right, exactly.
We were talking a little bit about this earlier. So, being a still growing artist, and you're local, what is your opinion on trying to be independent and not independent, like with a label?
It depends, really. It just it depends, because I've been signed before and I didn't like it, and I made them drop me like within I think a month.
Why
or 2.
didn't you like it?
Because they were trying to control my music and own my masters.
Okay.
And I was naive at the time and thought it was a good idea. And
How old were you?
I was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
I was 18.
They try to
when that
get you
happened.
young.
Oh yeah. And I dropped this one song and did real well with them, and then dropped another song and it didn't do well, but the song was better.
Right.
And I was like, fuck y'all, like
Oh, you could tell.
You
what
think
they
it
were-
was, do you think that was their doing though, that they didn't like try
they
to give
just
that one
didn't push
that
it hard
push?
enough. Exactly. Yeah. So I
Oh,
was
I
like, fuck
see
that.
why. I never, not being a musician, I do see like I always, just from a media standpoint, you always hear about like label problems. I guess that's like, I never really thought of deep down what they would be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because you really don't think about that kind of shit until it's right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and also, and I feel like this is one problem, bro. Being at a young age, and like I said, they try to get you young. Being a young person, getting that type of money thrown at you, it's like, damn, I want it. But it's also hard to think of long term, especially a lot of rappers, they don't have any background. They have no money. They don't, what I'm saying? They don't have that fallback, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So like that upfront money is almost better in some cases, not actually, but in some cases, like some situations, people just think it is, and I feel like that really fucks up their growth because
Right.
they get stuck in these contracts and can't release music for say 6 years or
Right.
I mean, there's different things that happen, but yeah, that's bullshit, bro. I don't like how that works out.
Yeah. And but I mean, there's a group that I am friends with called Rags and Riches. You guys were at the show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a cool show, by the way. That was dope.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Shout out to Peyton and Tanner. They're the GOATs. I appreciate y'all so much for
Wait.
having me.
Real quick, why'd they make you get off the stage?
Because I went over my time limit.
Bro, they were turning up. It was lit.
Really?
Yeah, it was lit. It was lit, bro. Sorry.
I stayed for like the first half, but these girls that I was with were begging me to go to Horse and Jockey. So I ended up leaving halfway through, but loved their beginning of their set and watched all the videos at the end, and that shit was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, big shout out to them for having me. Much appreciated. I would do it again any day.
So something I've got for you, bro. What is your advice to people like up and coming artists, people just starting? Because you've, I'd say the way I look at it from a fan, like you've beat the up and coming stages. Like you're obviously nowhere near where you want to be, but
Right.
you're past beginning stage.
Yeah, I guess if I had to give advice to anybody, it's work with as many artists who are established that you can.
Right.
And make sure that you use the tools that ads give you to reach their fans, because you can target as many people as you want in certain places as much as you want. And as long as you know that there are fans there,
Right.
then there's no chance you can fail. Like what I did was when I dropped the songs with Stephen Cannon, I would put ads to Cincinnati because that's where he's from.
Right.
So like when I dropped songs with Danny Towers, I put ads to Orlando because that's where he's from. I put ads to Miami.
We've actually had some type of success with that, like
Right.
trying to push it to different states
Right.
specifically.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. And like when I opened for Caskey in Ohio,
Mhm.
I pushed the advertisement to that city in Ohio.
Yeah.
And I've sold tickets off just the advertisement.
That's good. Yeah.
Right. And so you know, work with as many established artists as you can and try and take over their fan base as much as you can, and make sure that you are being as genuinely yourself as you possibly can be, and make sure that even if you think you're putting out the best stuff you can, always know you can do better. Always know that there's somebody out there doing better, and there's somebody out there trying harder than you. And if you slow down at all, then you're not going to do better than them.
That's fire,
That's-
bro. That's real game, bro.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Actually, and I
Yeah.
think it's important, bro. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier, learning from these people as well. Just like learning everything that you can from any type of situation. Like
Mhm.
when you're getting opportunities to be in the studio, or if you're getting opportunities to be on calls with these people, like
Then take them.
exactly, never let one of those go by, because that could be your next opportunity to blow up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And like, but also don't be too opportunistic, because there's
There's
you
bad
know,
opportunities.
Right. There's bad opportunities, and there's things that oversaturate your demographic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like for instance, I'm at a point where like I only want to perform every so often, and I want to do it at certain venues.
Right. Actually, on that topic, you're performing in. Did you say, was that a flyer that you posted in New York, or you said you went to New York and?
Oh yeah, I was gonna perform in Pennsylvania, but
Uh-huh.
actually I had some shit fall through, and now I'm not gonna be able to do it. But they did say I will be on the lineup next year. So
That's cool. So you'll be
um,
performing up north.
It'll be in Pennsylvania, in like I think like Edinburgh or some shit
Mhm.
like that.
What type of event is that?
It's a EDM fest.
That'll be lit.
Right. So I'm gonna be doing EDM rap, and I'm gonna have a little bit of DJing that I'm gonna do,
That'll be sick, bro.
Right.
That'll be super sick.
because I'm trying to make all kinds of
Those
music.
shows are different level. Like people that are in the rap, they think, and don't get me wrong, like Playboy Cardi, we witnessed that, but like Playboy Cardi, those type of shows are crazy, but those are also different level. Like they be going crazy at those, yeah.
Exactly. And those type of fans are like, you know, very what's the word? They follow very well. Like even if they
Right,
don't know
yeah.
a DJ, if they hear him and they like him, they're like, oh wow, like
Yeah,
I'm
I'm-
a fan now, you know.
Exactly.
But it takes, you know, listening through plenty of fucking rappers and shit like that to find people that you actually enjoy. So
They're
Yeah.
definitely like people will dress up to come to a festival. That shows they're dedicated.
Right, yeah.
Versus like, I mean, you wear something nice to a rap concert, but you're not going full costume.
Right.
Like you are to those festivals.
right, like
Hella
EDM
people do.
culture is cult like.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, in a way though, not exactly, but you could almost say that like Playboy Cardi's type events are
Or
sort of
cult, like-
EDM.
Yeah, or it's sort of EDM.
Not EDM, but they're sort of like that high pace,
All
that
that was a bunch
lasers.
of fucking teenagers jumping in the air high as they can, trucking us and shit.
Bro, that
That's all
was
shit
crazy,
Yeah.
bro. We went to a Playboy Cardi mosh pit, bro. That was next, like,
Right.
Just-
I've been to Rolling Loud a couple times. That shit is
Oh,
lit.
was
oh,
you
you
in
went
the
to
middle of
Rolling
it?
Loud?
Oh yeah, bro. Uzi jumped on me one year.
That's crazy.
There's a video of it on my Instagram. Literally, Uzi jumped like right on me.
That's
Bro.
dope.
Yeah.
Wait,
blows
so you
my
were like almost
mind.
front row.
No, I was actually in the back. He ran up through the middle of the crowd, up onto the sound booth stage,
Yeah.
and like got on top of the sound booth roof, and then jumped
That
off
big
right on me.
in Florida?
In
When he
Florida.
was wearing the white,
Yeah, he was wearing the
watch
white-
his Marilyn Manson chain.
Yes, that
You
was.
were
I was
there?
there. He jumped on me, bro.
That's
Bro, that's
crazy.
you?
I touched him, type shit. Yeah.
That's
Bro,
nuts.
do you know what video?
Yes,
he's
bro,
talking
where he
about?
does the
that
front-
motherfucker jumped like
Yes,
like
bro,
he was
that's
trying to kill
crazy.
himself type
Yeah.
shit. He jumped.
And we caught him.
I wonder where his chain went, bro. Oh my
I looked
God.
all over for that shit. It wasn't on the ground. So
Oh
whoever
my
whoever
God.
snagged that shit was
Bro, you
gone.
don't. Yeah, bro, you would have seen it.
Damn.
Yeah, that shit was dancing.
Yeah,
For
oh my
sure. You could
gosh,
see it
bro.
while he was standing
in the
up
air.
on the
Yeah,
I
that's
need one of
nuts.
those
Right.
one day.
So, well, we'll start on a different topic since you said that. Doing what you do, what opportunities does that lead you to have? Like, what are some things that it's what are some things that it's led you to do that you didn't think you'd be able to do?
Definitely the show I did the other day where it's basically sold out.
Yeah.
You know, people had their phone. Like I got that picture with the whole crowd with their phones out. Like that's a surreal moment.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. And the fact that I even got paid $600 for a 30-minute performance is unbelievable to me.
No,
Like
you're on the way, definitely.
You gotta get that crowd control, bro. That's
Exactly.
really important.
Right. You said I do have it?
Yeah, or
You're
I
right.
said you got to get it, but no,
Right.
not that you don't have it. But I'm
No,
saying
yeah.
people have to get that. Like,
Yeah.
crowd control is important for
Yeah.
anybody.
I used to not at all, but I feel like I've definitely, it's a growing process.
That's a tough thing though to get going. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
it is, especially when you're local. I mean, like I said earlier, you have to really establish yourself locally, and then because like I feel like it's a lot easier for somebody to go out of state and then they're performing, and then if somebody comes up on stage, they don't have any consumption of who they are.
Right.
But like when you sort of know about a local artist, you already have like an idea. So if you go into it thinking like anything, it might alter how
Right.
you perceive the show.
Right. Yeah, and like that's one thing too is like I genuinely feel like people who come to my shows, if they've never heard my music before, they're walking out a fan.
Right.
On like 100%. And I had many people message me on Instagram and say, yo, like I had never heard your music. I was there for Rags and Riches. I was standing in the back, but you have a new fan. And
That's
I will
dope.
always support you, like stuff like that. And at least, 10 people like that. And like the second I walked off stage that day, I gained like 20 followers.
That's actually fire.
Right.
I know that feels good too locally.
Right.
I mean, those are people here in town.
Right. Exactly. And especially being on the news and like on Hot 102.5 and, all that good shit.
You've been on the radio?
Oh, yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah. My name was like broadcasted probably like 20 times throughout the week before the Burl.
Did they do that, or did you get that done?
The Rags and Riches guys did that.
Oh, that's
nice
sick.
that you
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
why
really
they're
cool.
the goats, bro. Their promotion game is unreal.
That's cool. I personally, that's not my type of music, but I heard them open up. They were going crazy.
Right. Yeah, like I stayed for the first like 20 minutes and bro, they were killing it.
Yeah.
They were killing it. But unfortunately, those girls that I was with just if it was up to me, I would have stayed the whole time. But
Yeah.
you know how it is. You can't say no to the beautiful women.
So more about what you're
Respectfully.
more about what you're trying to do in the future. So, what are some things that, not even specifically rap, but what are some things that you want to start doing now that you're, some of your opportunities are opening up? You know what I mean? Like, what are some things you'd like to get into?
I'm about to open this coffee shop called Java Jukebox,
Hell yeah.
and I'm gonna use that to like kind of propel the music, the musicality of me,
Right,
and,
exactly.
putting it into businesses in Lexington that people who don't like go looking for, local music would
Can
see.
find it.
I see
Right.
when you posting, you're building a stage in there.
Right.
So you plan to do some small little live stuff,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
So-
Yeah, I probably won't perform that because it would be
Yeah.
it would be too tight.
Oh.
But I'll have people come out there and they'll be like, they'll post and be like, "Come to Lane Allen Official's coffee shop."
Shit, you
and
can
do
have
Right.
a little private release thing there.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, some shit.
Right. But even then, I still think it would be too packed.
You think they'd like call
Oh,
you
yeah.
out
I
and
mean,
be
yeah,
like,
the
it's too
stage
loud?
isn't like,
Yeah.
the
'Cause
stage
my
isn't
landlord-
too big.
Right. I told my landlord that I'd only be doing like, quiet shows and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And, my music is.
One day you should have like a little jazz band in there. Like,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
some saxophone and shit.
Right.
That'd be. I don't know why, but I feel like some jazz would go hard. one day.
Definitely. And we're going to do like Smash Bros tournaments and shit.
That actually might be a bigger turnaround than you think, bro.
Right.
That's a
Shit,
big
I'll
Right.
slide for that definitely.
Right.
I
It's
drink
gonna be
coffee
fun.
anyway.
especially
Is your prices cheaper than Starbucks and shit?
Definitely.
good, bro.
Then I'm coming.
Go to Java Jukebox. It's
On
cheaper than
Maxwell.
Starbucks.
Yep.
Yep.
Better than Starbucks.
Yep. Better and cheaper.
Did you have a passion for coffee? Not like for coffee. Like
How'd you get
fucking
into that?
coffee
Yeah.
shop, like,
Honestly, I just started drinking coffee.
would you like it so much? You're like, I'm opening this bitch.
No, not even that. I just I found the space because I'd been wanting to open a business. Like I didn't care what it was.
Right.
I just wanted to open a business, and then I found this place that was zoned to be a bar or lounge,
Mhm.
and I wanted to make it a bar, but the landlord didn't want it to be a bar.
Okay,
I
so you
was-
had to get creative.
Right. I was
Right.
like, all right, I'll make it a coffee shop.
Right.
That's a bar, but without the alcohol.
There you go. And
sorry.
especially with having all that like little special stuff.
No, but I hadn't really drank coffee that much, but I'm passionate about it now.
Right.
And I want to make my coffee the best it's gonna be, and I want to make it the best in Lexington, and the best quality.
Right. So I have a question, and this is more about your business side. So eventually, do you plan on just being like the owner, and then you're gonna hire like a manager, or are you gonna be in there every day? Like, what
I'll
are
be in
your?
there every day at first?
Yeah.
But after a little while, after I know how it all, how to run my
Right.
own business, then I'll have my manager take over like
Right.
day-to-day duties. because I'm not gonna want to work there. Like
Right, especially with
Right.
all the other shit you got going
Right,
on. Yeah.
especially with the music stuff. Like I plan on touring soon. I plan on doing big shit. I hopefully won't be moving out of Kentucky soon because there's a lot of love here, but there's a lot of hate.
No, definitely.
Yes.
Like once you get to a certain point, like the people where you're from start to resent you.
Yeah.
It's just it just means you're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks though. It really does, bro. Like I can't lie, bro. I'd definitely be losing sleep over the hate sometimes. But
Because people just, when they got nothing going on, bro, they'll say whatever they can to just.
yeah.
And bro,
say and do
hate
that.
is such a thing in here, bro. Like, bro, we've talked about this on the podcast before, bro. It's like hate is so internal.
They be
It's
going
not,
ruthless us on the damn TikTok saying like
bro.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
Telling us fucking never listen to a guy with his haircut and shit.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
fuck whoever said that. But,
But, bro, all
like,
we,
it's
all we
just-
do
it's
is
just
laugh
funny.
at it, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They're just sitting there arguing in the comments, bro. It'd be funny. There's actually been some of our posts that like they'll argue with themselves in the comments. It's actually super funny,
Right.
bro. That stuff.
Yeah. Share it. Yeah. Show your friends, even if it's hate.
all attention's good attention for us at least. So.
Tell everybody how bad it is.
Right.
They just-
Yeah, I think both my ex's TikToks are like low key dedicated to just trashing me, from what I've heard at least. Like somebody told me the other day they went and looked at their TikToks and there was just hella videos. Of
Bro,
me
it's
just
crazy.
That's why
talking
you dropped.
shit.
That's why you dropped this on Toxic.
Yeah, every day my bitch say I'm toxic. I can even listen to some noxious. Yeah,
Bro.
that's truth. That was real life.
Bro, it's crazy. Imagine being somebody that like you have nothing else better to do than hit on somebody. That's crazy to me.
Right.
Like to me, I feel like it's such a waste of time to
Yeah.
even have that type of hate in your body, bro, because you could dedicate that time to doing something good for yourself.
Exactly.
So like it's
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. It's no point.
Yeah, it hurts though. I can't lie, it hurts.
So, hey,
Something I'm getting
part
used
out.
to as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm guaranteeing
Skin's
that I'm
getting
gonna,
stronger.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate. You know,
Yeah.
but
This is something we're trying to do with the podcast and just everybody locally though. We were talking about this a minute ago. We're really trying to like make the city pop. You said there's a lot of love, but there's a lot of hate, bro. We're trying to bring everybody with all the love together, bro.
Right,
Like eventually,
definitely.
eventually we want Lexington to be everything that we all would want to go on vacation and see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to bring all that here.
Right.
Like all the events, all the like the big stores, you know what I'm saying? Like let's get some electronic billboards downtown.
Right.
Like let's turn it up, you know what I'm
bro,
saying?
you know they actually have a law against that. There's only one electronic billboard in all of Lexington, and it's the Rupp Arena sign.
Oh,
And-
would you like look into
Yeah,
it one time?
because I was trying to get an electric sign for Java Jukebox, and they said it was illegal.
That's crazy. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
How is
Yeah.
that even?
I wonder
don't know.
why.
You're allowed to have signs that like are illuminated,
Yeah.
but they can't like change at all.
Rupp has turned up. Have you?
Oh yeah.
Have y'all seen Rupp? Oh my gosh,
Right.
it's literally looks crazy.
And I love the fact that it's across the street from my coffee shop, bro. Like,
Is it
it's gonna be
literally
clutch.
see like you can see
Yeah.
it through the front door?
right.
Oh, so it's right there.
Mhm. It's across the parking lot.
That's dope.
Right. You could throw a
Yes.
stone in the parking lots right there.
That's lit. That
Yeah.
would be really good. That would be
Mhm.
really good.
And
for
I heard they're
business.
putting a soccer stadium right there too.
A
Yes,
soccer?
yes, they are.
In that parking lot?
Right.
Well, it's gonna be
Do you have a soccer?
it's a
team?
multi-purpose stadium. So
Oh,
it's like a
something like that.
stadium, but then it'll also have like other stuff in there, like
Right.
I'm sure other events.
right.
But that's crazy, bro. We are growing, and it is crazy because like I'm sure your all's parents have told you a little bit how Lexington was before we were around. Like Harrisburg Road, you know what I'm saying? What was it? Hamburg was nothing like it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
remember.
crazy.
I remember fucking. Bro, there's so many things around here that are incredibly different now.
Yes.
Like, so many things. Like the double diamond, bro. I used to. That was a four lane
Yeah.
street before.
Yeah, yes, it was. I actually do remember that. I was really young, but I
Right.
remember that.
Right. But things change, things get better though. And it's the same thing with, music. As life progresses, your music progresses.
Exactly.
It's the same kind of thing. You just keep doing the construction on it and it's always going to get better.
Yeah.
And as long as you stay persistent, then there's no chance it won't.
Yeah.
That's
right.
the cool thing about like making music or any kind of art, really.
Right.
No, as like an artist, do you ever find it hard, like you just be comparing yourself to somebody else that might have like more success than you, but you think you're better than them?
No, honestly, no. Because I feel like everybody is great or perfect in their own way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my music is perfect in its own way.
Right.
And if people, listen to my music and they enjoy it, then I don't know. Like it's something that's like I've never really like had any sort of envy toward any like other artist. I just am always excited by it. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
every time I see somebody doing well, I'm like, yeah, that's
Well,
where I want.
Yeah, that
Bro,
also
that's
means
so
like
good.
that means you have a good perspective, and that means you're happy with what you produce.
Right.
Like it's people that don't like what they do, and they just know, oh, that dude's shit's better. You're just like,
Right.
fuck.
I think that's very important. And like I said, we've said this on the podcast before. Find something you love and you'll never work it in your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's so important.
Shit, I
like-
bet you love your job.
I love my job so much, bro. I haven't worked a day since I was 16, and I've loved every second of it.
That's dope, bro. That's
Yeah.
dope.
But that was really actually because after Caleb passed away, I was so depressed. I
Yeah.
didn't want to do anything, and I stopped going to school and shit.
Right.
But you know, it turned into
Something
I
greater.
turned it into making music, and I turned it into like
Self-expression,
something I love.
like getting,
right.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
good, bro.
Exactly.
Always turn something negative positive.
Right.
That's such a good mentality, especially in being a creator, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck all the hate.
Yep. Yeah, I guess if there was anything I could close with, it would just be a thank you to all my fans, everybody that is watching this, that has watched it all the way through. You're a real one. You know, there's not many people that are that interested that like would do something like watching a 40-minute podcast. You know, because there's one thing to go listen to a 2-minute song,
Right.
but it's another thing to be so interested in somebody that you'd be willing to, you know, look into, a step into their lives.
Right.
So if you're here still listening, thank you.
We appreciate you. We said that before. If you take an hour out of your day to come spend some time with us, we appreciate it for
Right.
sure.
No, most definitely.
Exactly. And I just want to say, you know, I love all my fans so much. You guys are the reason why I do this. You guys are the reason why I love performing, the reason why I love making music. I mean, I love making music because it's so satisfying to make a good song.
Oh, I'm
but the
sure.
best part is having people who think it's also good.
Right.
And when they sit there and they tell you, wow, this is great, it makes you, you know, it's gratifying.
motivation
Exactly. It's
to the
motivating
fullest.
and gratifying as fuck. And, you know, it gives me so much deep down gratitude for everybody that listens. And, you know, also, you know, check out the coffee shop on Maxwell, opening soon.
Java Jukebox.
Java Jukebox. Yes, sir. Right in front of Rupp Arena on Maxwell. And June 8th, the highest. I don't know when this will come out, but June 8th, the highest. And then 8 weeks after that, there's going to be the follow-up to Unapologetic, Unamused. I recorded that in L.A.
That'll be fire.
Yes, sir.
That'll be dope.
Yes, sir. So, you know, just make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you keep listening. And if you're out there watching this and you got any questions about anything I said, then feel free to hit me up.
Hit up the blue check.
Yes, sir. Lane Island Official on Instagram.
Real quick, do you have any shows planned?
I think July 9th, maybe.
July
Yeah, I'm at
9th.
the Burl, but it's not confirmed yet, so I may not end up being there.
Everybody, if you have anybody at the Burl, go tell them that they went Lane Island there.
Yes,
So,
sir. July 9th.
No, we'll be if you go through with that show, we'll be there.
All right, bet. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate it, y'all.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you coming out.
Yes,
Episode
sir.
17.
Yes, sir.
No, thank you. First blue check guest.
Yeah.